Hey, welcome to Vince and Dave Live, and we talk about $1 million business ideas. And so that is what we're going to do today. We're going to have a great time. In fact, we were just talking about Vince petting a shark, not at SeaWorld.
Not at SeaWorld, yeah.
In the real life scuba, right?
Yeah,
You're a scuba guy.
Yeah. It's been, doing it for many years. A lot more early on than now, but yeah, it's been pretty big part of my life.
You've been to some of the biggest scuba places in the world, haven't you?
Yeah. Prior to getting married.
Prior to getting married. After you get married, all that goes away. Oh, this not only do we talk about $1 million ideas, we do marriage counseling.
That's it.
So we're hooked in on that, and so, but we're going to talk about Vince's scuba diving today. We're going to get to know Vince a little bit today. We're going to see how deep he can dive.
Dive her down.
We gotta have it. That's the dad joke. Right? When you have kids, you gotta practice your dad jokes. Got to make sure you get them in there. I'm Dave Wescott, CEO Evergreen Brands and TransBlue and Condo Shield and Snow Bros. And so we represent a few brands, but today I'm repping TransBlue. I got my TransBlue hat on. This is some of the new swag, so I thought I'd rock the swag on the call. I don't. It does look good, doesn't it?
First I've seen it.
I don't really wear hats that often.
No.
But when I do, I look so sharp. It's just unbelievable. Vince looks good too, though. Vince looks good too. I mean, the suit and everything. I thought about wearing the suit, but I thought with the suit and the hat, I couldn't pull off the Larry David look.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
I couldn't bring that home.
Yeah. Looks good though.
Larry David's funny,
I have to get me
isn't
one
he?
of those.
Yeah, you do. You gotta get them. So, anyways, back to the scoop. Today we're talking about mastering marketing and sales. When you're building $1 million business and you're going to have $1 million ideas, you're going to have to market. You're going to have have sales. That's really important. But I want to dive back into what we're really talking about here. Dive back into what we're really talking about here. I want to talk about the scuba diving.
Yeah.
So when you choose a place to go scuba dive, you're looking for what? The best experience?
Yeah, absolutely, the best experience. Everything from for me, it's as I've gotten older, the wetsuit is getting a little tighter. So I look for those places where I could just go shorts, short wetsuit, big visibility, like being in a pool.
So you're going somewhere hot.
Somewhere hot, somewhere where you're you're able to see everything 200 feet out. So that visibility, right?
So tons of visibility.
Yeah.
So when the shark is zeroing in on you, you can see him coming. Move out of the way. Yeah. Uppercut. No.
Pull the knife out. You're ready to roll.
Okay, it's a knife. I'm glad we got weapons under the water. It's a Vince, a.k.a. the Aquaman. So what's your favorite place to go scuba diving?
Cozumel.
And because we're going to talk about experience, what is it that makes that experience the best for you?
A lot of it's the starts off with the culture.
Yeah.
You're away. It's an island, tropical. What you envision that beauty of the aqua blue water. Yep. The coral reefs and the colors and all the life. The marine life that you see down there. It's just an abundance of experiences.
What kind of stuff do you see into there?
Oh, more eels, sharks. Yeah, manta rays.
Wow.
Barracuda. And you want to stay away from those guys, by the way.
You don't want them chasing you.
You want to pet those guys.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think just the beauty of it, right? It's the experience.
Do you hire a charter when you go out on this?
I do. Yeah.
So do you look for the best guy, or do you look for the guy who's in the little boat? Maybe it's leaking a little bit. It's cheaper. He's drinking a 12-pack of beer before he takes you out on the boat. I mean, what guy are you looking to take you out?
No, the guys that know the area, that have the pristine tanks, the equipment.
You want good air tanks when you're going diving underneath the water.
I think that's very important.
Is that what you just said?
Yeah, exactly. BC, all the equipment. Basically, you want to ensure that safety first, that the equipment is in pristine condition.
Safety first.
Yep.
You want to make sure that you come back to the boat alive.
That's it. Yep.
That's right. Okay, cool.
Unless a shark gets you, then.
Unless a shark gets you, then you're in big trouble. So tell us about this shark you petted.
It was about 40 feet underwater, and I was in a coral reef, and I was kind of exploring the areas where these little eels like to hide, so they pop their faces. I don't know if you've ever seen those pictures of where they just like,
yeah.
Right? So I was kind of in that element, and off in a distance, I saw two sharks kind of, you could see it 200 feet out. So the visibility was great, but they were coming directly towards us. And it was, I noticed what kind of shark it was. It wasn't, a great white or anything like that.
Your sharks at this point in the game.
Yeah, so I knew it was pretty calm, but it actually came up to us, like off to the side as it was floating by. I just stuck my hand out. Avoid the mouth.
Yeah.
Get on
Otherwise,
top
you might not have any fingers there.
Yeah,
You might be like this. Oh, where's my fingers?
Right. And as I was going through, I just petted as I was swimming.
That's a pretty incredible experience, isn't it?
It was great.
How many times have you been to Cozy Mill?
6 times.
6 times! Wow.
Yeah.
And these excursions, it's like you fly to go out there, because Cozy Mill is where?
It's just kind of southeast of Cancun, so it's about a 6-hour flight to get out there.
So you fly out there, you stay in a hotel, you hire a charter, you go out there, you might scuba dive a couple times a day for a few days or something like that. So these trips are expensive.
Yeah.
So you're putting a lot of money into that experience.
All the way. Yep.
So this is so important for what we're talking about today with $1 Million Business, right? Because, Vince, scuba diver, he's looking for that incredible experience. He's looking to have that amazing time under the water, scuba diving, petting sharks, hanging out with the barracuda, doing all that fun stuff. And this is so important in marketing and sales. I believe the number one thing that we need to do in marketing and sales is deliver an incredible customer experience.
That's right.
Because marketing and sales is really expensive. When you owned your business and did I introduce you, by the way? Vince Ortiz, VP of Franchise Development. If I didn't do that, that's who he is, just so you know. When we have our business, if we can spend all the money we want, but if the customer experience isn't amazing, we're not going to go back.
Yeah, you're right. It's that repeat business, right? Yep.
You wouldn't go back to the scuba diving place if the experience wasn't cool.
Yeah. And you're right. I had experiences where I had been in places like that. You wouldn't imagine, Hawaii, for example.
Yeah.
There's just some experiences there that just weren't up to par.
Yeah.
And so I've been back to some of those places.
And as a professional scuba diver, or I don't know if there's professionals or not, but as a guy who's super into this, I'll just say professional scuba diver, you want the best experience you can have.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you only do it once or twice a year, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's super important to you. So when I was getting into business, I'd probably been in business for 5 years, and I had a customer that I had nurtured and built up and spent a lot of time with him, and we became friends along the way, and I did all of their projects at their association. And I did hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of work. And he referred me to a couple of people who needed some roofing projects done, and we did a bunch of roofing projects. They went amazing. And then he asked me to re-roof his home. And I said, sure, I can do that. And he had a big house, cedar shake, just, maybe 4,000 or 5,000 square foot house, real big house. And I did the job. And at the end of the job, there was some roofing staples that were coming through the eaves.
Yeah.
And the roofing staples, they had been there, prior, as well, on the previous roof that were installed. Or maybe they were nails. I can't remember exactly if they were nails or staples at this point. But whatever they were coming through the eaves. And he called me. He's like, hey, man, can you guys take these out? And I said, yeah, we'll do that. And I kind of put him off. And the reason I put him off was because he was an existing client who was a friend. We went out to lunch together. We hung out. We did a lot of things. And I put him off because my guys were so busy. I was so busy at work. And then he called again. He's like, hey, can you get me taken care of? And I said I would. And then he said, hey, can you get me taken care of? And he said he would. And as time went on, a couple of months passed. And I failed to get that work done. And he called me on the phone. And he was very upset. And I said, hey, man, I need to have this done. I want them clipped. I want the job finished. To me, it wasn't a priority, but to him, it was the biggest thing in the world at the time. And I failed, and I said, hey, you know, I'll have Jimenez out there on Wednesday. He'll be there at 9 o'clock, and he's going to take care of all these roofing staples. And Wednesday came along, 7:30 in the morning. I get an emergency call from a client that I deemed to be more important, and I can't even remember who that client is. And I rescheduled my friend, who was also a client. And what happened was I thought, hey, it's no big deal. We're buddies, you know, it's cool. And what happened was that I never got another call from the client. We'll just say his name's Bill. I never got another call from Bill.
Yeah.
And I never went back out there to make it right. And about a month later, maybe 6 weeks later, I got served with a lawsuit.
Wow. Yeah.
Saying the entire roof was defective. The entire roof wasn't defective. But I had pushed this guy that I had done a lot of work with to the point of filing a lawsuit against me. I tried to reach out to him. I tried to make it right. I tried after the fact. And I thought, man, how could this guy do this to me? We were my buddy. We've done so much work together. And I wasn't looking at it from his perspective. How could I call him a buddy if I neglected his service, if I didn't go out there and take care of him, if I didn't make him a priority? And then all of the work that I had done from referrals and in the association and all of that, guess what? All of that stopped.
Yeah.
I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of work because I failed to take care of my customer and deliver an incredible customer experience. And the lawsuit eventually went on, and insurance ended up covering the cost, and it went away. But I'll never forget that experience. I'll never forget how I felt. I felt betrayed that he would do that.
Right.
And I can't imagine, it took me years to really understand how he felt. Imagine how betrayed he felt. Man, I've given this guy all this work. I've given him referrals. I've given him testimonials. I've been amazing for his business. I've helped him grow his business, and he would treat me like this. What a slap in the face that was. What a failure that was. Yeah. Now, all the marketing in the world, if I think about it, you get your marketing in place and you start to learn the cost of acquisition per client. They say the cost of acquisition per client in the construction industry is about $2,500. Mm-hmm. So if that's about what it is, but you think about what it is to find that amazing customer who gives you all their work, who gives you references anytime you ask, who got you hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional work from other places. Like, you think about, those customers are very rare. Those are diamonds in the rough.
They are.
And you might spend $2,500 to acquire that customer, and you might have spent $10,000 in advertising to get to acquire that customer. But what is the cost of losing that customer? Do you know? Priceless. He could be a customer today if I would have treated him right.
Right.
And I absolutely failed as a young entrepreneur, as a young business owner. And so part of the lesson today is, put your marketing in place, learn your cost of acquisition, but when you win those clients, keep those clients. If you want to grow your business, if you want that $1 million business, you've got to focus on keeping the client. Yeah. It's got to be number one. And that starts with an incredible customer experience. Everything you do in your business has got to be incredible, has got to be incredible, has got to be incredible.
Yeah.
Right? And you know that.
Yeah. No, you're right, Dave. I think you hit on it. The referral aspect of it. I mean, a lot of times as a business owner, you tend to kind of get caught up in the moment and don't think about the future.
Yeah.
The lost opportunities. Like you said, to this day, he could still be a potential client. Right. Not only for direct work, but also for referral work.
Yeah.
That goes sometimes unmeasured. And I remember, when I started my business and, back in 2006, I mean,
yeah.
Back
many moons ago,
especially when it comes to technology, reviews were just starting to really kind of, build up. Right.
Yeah.
And I can remember, now these days it's just in our daily lives. I mean, good, bad, and all those things. Back then, one bad review, I was like, whoa, we had done such a great job for this client.
Yeah.
But the communication of trying to fix it, trying to like to what your point is, you can turn a bad into a good.
Right.
It's a good opportunity, right, to flip it. So I think referral work, references, reviews, all those things play a big part in our world today.
They do.
And
listen to your customers.
Yeah.
Listen to what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you read the reviews and they're not positive and they're not where you want to be, work on making that right. Reach out to each one of those customers. Make a concerted effort to make things right in the business.
Yep.
If you want to grow your business, you have to keep your customers. And, now as we've learned, we'll talk about another client by the name of Jill.
Yeah. And
Jill had a driveway job. And we did a driveway job, and it was a big driveway job, and the sun was heating up, and the second concrete truck that was coming in, because it was a 20-yard plus pour, and coming in got stuck in an emergency on the freeway, and when they were trying to keep the mud soft, but when they put that second truckload in, it just didn't blend.
Yeah.
It looked bad.
I remember that.
And the customer said, "Oh man, what are you going to do?" We said, "Don't worry, we're going to tear it out." And we tore it out. And then we poured it again. And at the end, one of our finishers mismarked the control joint and cut it, a foot off over a 50-foot length. And what happened? It looked horrible. We tore it out again.
Yeah.
And then, what happened? We put it in a third time. It went perfect. And then we had the synthetic turf that we put in. And, the first time the seam was bad. And the second time the seam was bad. We had to do it a third time. We did it a third time. At the end of the job, the customer came out and said, "Hey, man, that was the longest, toughest job I've ever been through." But the response was, "I'll never work with anybody else, because if you take care of your customers like you did with me on this job, I don't want to work with anybody else." And the story from that, a neighbor that was just 5 houses down had a retaining wall project that we built, and when they called us for the bid, we gave them a bid for $90,000. And they called us back and they said, "Hey, the next bid in line is $30,000. Why is your bid so high?" And we said, "Well, we think access and material and all this is the reason why it's going to be what it is." And he said, "Your bid is crazy. Never call me again." 6 months later, I get a phone call, and it's him on the phone, and he says, "Hey, I'm ready to move forward with the job." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Hey, let's meet on site." And go out there and meet, and he says, "Your reputation in this neighborhood is impeccable." And he said, "I would rather spend the extra money and know that the job is going to be done right versus hiring somebody who doesn't necessarily understand how to do the job. And I know from past experiences that if you guys make a mistake or if something goes wrong, you're going to own it and you're going to make it right." And he said, "That's the kind of integrity that I want to work with."
Yeah.
And outside of that, we did hundreds of thousands of dollars of work in that neighborhood just because of how we take care of our customer. And that's the best kind of marketing. Mm-hmm. When we talk about marketing and we talk about that $1 million idea, the best way to market your business, the best way to take it to the next level is do an incredible job.
Right.
Because people talk. Communities are small. People say, "Hey, my experience with these guys was awesome." You're doing big projects. They go on for months. People see the trucks in and out. And what's left is, was the communication amazing? Did I see all the fish I wanted to see?
Yeah.
Right? Did I get to pet the shark? What was my experience like? And I think so often we focus on, "Oh man, I got to find this new way to advertise, and I'm going to advertise on Google AdWords, and I'm going to do Bing AdWords, and I'm going to do Yelp, and I'm going to do Facebook." But if we took that same amount of time, and we took that same amount of energy, and we took that same amount of spend, and we just focused on delivering an incredible customer experience, I believe we wouldn't have to spend all the money on advertising. I believe we spend all that money on advertising because we deliver a subpar customer experience and our customers aren't happy.
Yeah.
We all remember Blockbuster Video.
Yeah.
There's only one left.
In Oregon, right?
In Oregon.
Yeah.
Why is that? They didn't listen to their customers, right? They didn't evolve.
Right.
Don't be a Blockbuster. right?
It's on the the experience level, right?
Just right, it's that experience.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
What is that? How does that resonate with you?
No, it's absolutely true. And, you know, we've seen the actual, right? We've seen the marketing spend go down for that reason.
Yeah.
You know, the high level of service, and even in those moments of, oh man, this isn't going so smooth, being able to turn that around into a positive, such as your stories. You know, I mean, that does bring that marketing spend down.
Right.
But at the same time, it puts you at a different level. There's a lot of, we talked about the reviews, a lot of online digital advertising going on. But what's ultimately going to separate you is being able to, provide that powerful experience to your client.
Exactly.
Right. And keep them coming.
In our office, we currently spend $0 on third-party marketing.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
So when we build that kind of business, what we want to make sure is that we are absolutely focused on that customer experience. Take that money, whatever your marketing spend is, take that money, and I say make sure that incredible customer experience is what you're delivering to the customer. And some ideas of that is, maybe at the end of the job, you're doing an extra walkthrough. Your crew's doing extra walkthrough, and be super picky. Be as picky as the customer. Mm-hmm. Look for every little detail. Point it out. Create your own internal punch lists. Right? Get those punch list done. Yes, that might cost you extra money. Yes, that might take extra time. But think of it as if it were your own property or your own home, and put that level of detail into it. That's going to cost you more money. That's going to be more costly. But when you do that, the experience is going to be incredible.
Right.
And then look at every job you do and say, hey, as a goal, as a KPI, right? Key performance indicator. Mm-hmm. Try to get 4 new projects from every project you're working on. See if you can hit that goal. Put that in place, write it down. If every customer can add 4 more customers to your database because of the job you've done, mm-hmm. you'll do an amazing, amazing work. And what you'll find is you have happier staff, because no staff member likes to get beat down with, oh my gosh, the work is terrible. Oh, I've got to go back and redo it. Yeah. What are they doing? They're blaming the boss. They're like, dude, you don't give me enough time. You're pressing me to get to the next job. You're putting all this pressure on me.
Right.
They don't have time to do the job. I think as humans, we all want to do the best work we can.
Right.
So make it world class. Any last thoughts, Vince?
Yeah, no, other than I love that you kind of turn that back around into scuba diving and experiencely, because all the constant visits, the repetitive business. It's true.
It's awesome, right?
Yeah.
You know who you like, you want to work with.
That's it.
You're getting excited.
Yeah.
You taking those underground pictures. Yeah. Those underwater pictures.
Underwater pictures, yeah. Or if you're in a cave, you're kind of still on the ground.
Yeah, you're still kind of. Thanks for saving me on that one. But anyways, we like to have a great time on this call. We like to talk about things that are relevant, things that matter. And I think when you're looking at your marketing budget, look at what does it take to make my customer happy? Not just doing the job, but what does it take to deliver that experience? Yeah. I'm going to go to Chicago on Friday for the Snow and Ice Management Show. Here's a plug. SIMA, Snow and Ice Management Show. It's an amazing event. It's in Milwaukee next week. But I'm flying into Chicago. I'm going to get some of that Giordano's pizza.
Oh, there you go.
Right? That thick, deep dust Chicago. I've been thinking about it for like 2 weeks. I'm ready. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the incredible customer experience. Right? What do we go back to? Right. We go back to things we love.
Right.
Do you ever watch the same movie over and over again? What about all the Star Wars people who watch all the Star Wars movies over and over and over again? Why did they do that? It was an incredible experience.
Yeah. Yeah, they're into it for sure.
Right? I'm watching Obi-Wan. Here's a plug for Obi-Wan. I love that scene with Darth Vader just going through chopping people down. Not that I love to see people get chopped down, but it was just cool. I was just like, whoa, that's Darth Vader, man. But people are going to talk about that. They're going to watch it.
Right.
Because it's an incredible customer experience.
The experience level for sure.
And what does that do? That's better than any marketing in the world. I love watching movies, and you see these big blockbusters. They have tons of advertising that comes out. They can have their name on every commercial. They can have Taco Bell represent the name of the movie on the cups and the burritos and all that.
Yeah, within the movie, right? Yeah.
But if it's not an incredible experience, what happens? It's a flop, right?
Yeah.
Even if they spend hundreds of millions of dollars on advertising, if the customer experience isn't incredible, it's a flop.
Well, you have your buddies telling you not to show up to that movie. Don't watch it.
Don't go that one. You can see that one on video. Don't do.
Right.
See what I'm saying? It's about the credible customer experience. It's not about the dollars you put in advertising your product. It's in how you take care of your customers.
Yep.
It's about that cozy meal, baby.
That's it.
And if you want the greatest cozy meal experience, you DM Vince.
Hit me up.
I'm Dave. This is Vince. TransBlueFranchiseCompany.com if you want to learn more about who we are and what we do. Thank you very much for your time. I hope this was informative. Same bat time, same bat channel, 2 weeks.
Take care.
Peace.